Hello and welcome back. I'm bballjo and this is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, where I review your Season X. And today we have Gork. Gork has done a lot of things very similar to me, but also a lot of things that are very different, and I'm jealous of a few of those, so let's check them out and you tell me which one's better. This is Gork. Gork has made a gorgeous republic. That's the wrong button. We are at 82,000 people. We're not going double speed because that's ridiculous. 1% unemployment, 71% happiness, and health pretty reasonable. A little bit of money in the bank, and about 15 years behind my current save. So very comparable in most aspects, but things are quite different in a lot of places. So let's go check them out. The map looks like this. We're obviously started here. Then the actual peninsula is also kind of similarly populated. We have Minimi up here, that's already happened, but you will see that the similarities stop relatively soon. One of them would be right here. We have our starter town right next to the first border post, and between that border post and the one that's out here. And I think most of this looks similar, familiar, just a couple different buildings, but that's lovely. We got a little helicopter construction crew sitting right here, ready to do whatever you need them to do, which is excellent. And then nuclear fuel fabrication right over here. They're doing the thing that they need to do, and that all very similar. Even the fabric that we have sitting over here in the incinerator with the waste treatment plant, that's not similar at all. But that's where we're sitting, and we have our cargo train station right here. This is an interesting place for it. I would have expected this to be a distribution office, but okay, that sits right there, and we have a couple of connections here for, oh, looks like we have uranium ore already coming in, instead of me trying to get that in with, well, I think I'm starting here, right? I'm starting with UF6, uranium oxide. I'm turning in uranium oxide. Yes, that's right. So this chain already makes more money than what the other Season X is doing, which is cool. This looks like a repair dock. Yep, that just has to happen when you have ships in a very similar place. Here's a theme that I think Gork has done a wonderful job of, and some of them are pretty and some of them are not. Let's not get distracted by that right now, but Gork has used bridges and tunnels to their advantage in so many different places, but in natural occurrences. There's barely a bridge or a tunnel that had to be manufactured by raising or lowering terrain a lot, and I think that is quite cool. We will see a lot of examples of that throughout this tour. Then yeah, just some grain, because why not? Grain is a good thing. The farm is sitting right here. That's an interesting place for a farm, but probably works. I'm guessing there's another farm. Yep, that's another farm, and everything is nicely connected with rail, which is always better than not rail. That's just a rule. We got an airport sitting over here that is not super busy, but they're doing something. They're definitely doing something over here, and it's relatively flat, and I think you will notice that this sector, this section of the map is a little closer together than what it normally is, and there was definitely some terraforming done over here, but nothing wrong with that, because look at how busy this little corridor looks, just from right here. Nothing is really happening right now, but the ships are just like, yep, coming through, better not be in my way, or ramming speed and such. No, it's starting to get nighttime, and we are getting to our first larger city on the peninsula, and this one looks quite compact, but also quite heavy in population. How many people do we have living here? Letting this run a little bit. But hey, look at this. Like, you cannot fit more in this little square, and you have the avenues, you have the dedicated tram tracks running around here, taking care of business. Where are they all going? There, we got the lights. That's what I wanted to see. But where are you going, buddy? You are interesting. There's a little turnoff down here on the south side. And then you're just going around town, probably for a little bit of... Oh, that's just an end station. So all these guys are doing... Let's turn this off so we can actually see it. All the trams are doing is making sure everyone has everything that they would ever need. And they're probably doing a pretty good job at that. How happy are people generally in this town? 78. 78% on hard settings is pretty good. Let's go look at something. Let's go look at something telling. Is our achievement still available? No. I'm assuming this was terraforming. That's usually my first assumption. We're not cheating. We're just using an easier terraforming mode, because getting this to turn into flat land is not that quick. So, there we go. Yeah, these guys are... What are they producing? What are they actually doing here? I would like a little bit more light, please. But it looks like we have a couple industries sitting out here. And what is that? Food. 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 So you're primarily producing food on the island, and then there is a refinery sitting over here as well. Cool. It's producing just what it needs. And then there's more nuclear fuel. Yes, I think that will come up in my playthrough very, very soon. Because all of this is very, very much needed. You need money. And to be fair, it doesn't look like you have a ton of money. You just have a good amount of money, but you would probably like a little more than that. So this all looks fine. I'm a little surprised to see the refinery sitting where it does. I wonder, what are our pipe connections? Pipe connection goes over here into... No, it's just a pump jack. That's a pump jack too. Huh. Yeah. It feels like this refinery would like a little bit more oil coming in. Oh, there's some oil. No, that's fuel. That's just fuel for the Republic. And there's a couple more pumps sitting over here. Where's another inn? This is an... No, there's some oil coming in here. No, that's bitumen. That is fuel. Okay, there's certainly something going on over here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where we're getting more oil in, because there's not a lot of oil stored here. It just feels like the refinery is slightly underutilized. Nothing wrong with that. If you're not running out of fuel like bballjo, then you're doing all right. So there's that. Giant helicopter construction office, of course. We got the crime and justice scene over here. Yep, police station right next to the courthouse. That was a mod that I may have seen before, I'm not sure. And then we have the nice little pyramid museum sitting in the middle of town. Let's look at this one again. Yeah, this is nice and busy. Maybe that becomes a thumbnail. Who knows? I never know until I start making the thumbnail. So let's take a couple pictures while we're running around. Are you a moneymaker? Mm-hmm. You are making 137 million. I would have expected it to be a little more than that. Obviously, it's only like 3/4 full right now, but I thought that was more. You are oil. Okay. You're bringing oil in from the borders. Okay. You're transporting it somewhere. Probably this way. And this is an interesting underground pump. Kind of like you. Kind of maybe want to use you. You're making it all the way out here, and this is the oil that sits there. Just looks like the refinery is eating up more oil. No, it's fine. The refinery is just fine. bballjo was wrong. We're good. Moving on. We have a little bit of gravel production sitting out here, because you need a bunch of gravel, especially once you have the helicopter sitting next to you. So they're all connected and have what it takes to get a little bit of work done. And then all of these guys have dedicated trains bringing in all the materials that you want, and I'm assuming these all come directly from the border. Customs house, and yes, customs house. On the peninsula, there's no real good way to produce all of this yourself, so that is fine, although there was... Nope, that was a different map. I thought there was some prefab production on here, but no, that wasn't happening. Because we do have helicopters, I am assuming that this is our first expansion on the island. Because it is so close to everything that's over here, I wouldn't have been surprised if at some point there may have been a bridge across. Maybe. I mean, why not? You could play that way and just build a bridge and then you tear it down, because, like, I do want ship traffic. And then the ship has to go. No, not the ship, but the bridge has to go, and then you get to go. Nice small, like, not border town, but waterfront. This is like cold water, so there are no beaches. But this is I don't know. This is quite neat. Just like, okay, you can move in here. You will have a waterfront. You will also have a gravel back, but you will have a waterfront. And the waterfront is all that matters, because the gravel back over here, you don't have to worry about it. Looks like you are taking gravel, probably to export. And here's another one of those examples. There's a bridge. There's a conveyor belt. There's a natural kind of mountain in the background, and there's some plateaus built into this terraforming, obviously. And then this harbor is set up so low, and the next plateau is a little higher, so the town can sit on there, that this bridge is not level, but it's semi-level. Like, it doesn't have any real ramps on it, which I approve of. Wonderful. So, serious gravel production over here with tons of rail sitting around doing the things. We have a couple of vehicles that would like a little bit of repair done, but whenever do we not have that situation happening? Looks like we have a recycling plant sitting over here trying to turn the construction waste into something more useful. Yep, that's wonderful. Lots of conveyors just feeding it straight into this guy, and you seem to be full, sir. So something needs to happen with that, which then at some point... Let's see here. There's a conveyor that just splits it out into this. Interesting. So you don't have in-between storage. You just have the ship as your storage. All right. How many vehicles do you have on that? Just one. Okay, that's fine. There you go. It's working, so therefore it's fine. Big harbor. Okay, big harbor over here with a minuscule little airport just in front of us. I thought that was a cute detail. I don't know what they do yet. We have a cargo air terminal that has some chemicals waiting here. That's not a bad use of airplanes, if that's what you're using. I know there's a helicopter sitting there, not an airplane. Maybe airplanes got replaced at some point. I don't know. Maybe the airport was bigger at some point too. I see a little bit of path going over here and a little bit of extra path going over here as well. So maybe this is just a leftover of what the airport actually was. Maybe this was always designed to just be a helicopter place of business. I don't know. But we have chemicals coming through here, which then means, yeah, we have chemicals sitting in there, and we have a little bit of meat sitting here. So there's an air bridge for some meat, just in case you run low. I like that. And then, it's just connected to trucks, not to train. That is a little more surprising, but okay. There's currently nobody assigned to this chemical storage. That is curious. I wonder if things got replaced and then this was just left because it was working fine. So it didn't have to do anything else. But we have coal power plant. Cool. Not hooked up to anything right now, but there is a... No, there's just a windmill. It's here, but obviously we're not producing anything, and I don't know that we have to produce something unless there's some underground wire. There's one small underground wire going all the way over here, connecting into... Okay, that's a high voltage wire. But yeah, just one of them, because we also have the dual nuclear power plant sitting right here with a nice square fence around the perimeter, which is exactly what we need. Very nice use of a fire station in the middle of the nuclear power plant, because mine has set on fire 5 times in the last 5 years. You gotta take those. you gotta take care of those. Very much so. This looks like it's a harbor for importing vehicles, is my guess. Let's go look at what we actually have going on here. Nobody's actually driving right now. So maybe, yeah, this is just on-demand vehicle import. If we look at you, you have container vehicle and a something. That's not what I expected. This one goes from the border and loads vehicles. Yes, and then we have another one. You go also from the border and you load vehicles. So yeah, whenever you need something, you just bring them in here. They're just parked here for now. That's totally fine. They can sit right here and they figure out what they need to do. Already connected to the rail network. So what more do you need? What do we have here? Are you making money or are you nuclear waste? Okay, you're costing money. Almost $1 million. Nuclear waste is so cheap to just export. You don't have to store it in your republic, because at some point your storage will be full and then you have to figure out a way what you need to do with it. But it's not necessary because it's so cheap to just get rid of it. So you may as well. We got some spaces for vehicles, just some more vehicles there. We got a little train depot sitting over here. This one is actually cool. If you look at this one in real life, I can't click on it right now, but I think the wagon doors slide back, so you have 2/3 of the wagon uncovered when you have everything slid back, and then you just pull out whatever you wanted to pull out from there. I like it. I don't know why I get excited about little things like that, but I did. Looks like we have a lot of coal sitting on the back of the mountain, and why wouldn't we? What are you doing with that? You're mostly exporting that, or at least providing it here, and then you take it somewhere. Let's just look what you're doing. You are 2 ships. They are taking it around the coal terminal. Okay, that makes sense. And then another one also just coal transport in the Republic. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And we may continue. Let's go down here first, and then we're going to take a little detour, and then we're going to go back up here, and then we're going to come in from the top and see the rest. It is a new day, so new time to shine. Let's go to the central distribution hub. This seems to be where everything kind of happens, and we have a lot of things. Distribution hub, container packing and unpacking facility. Love it. I want to do some containers, but I have been too lazy to organize this yet, so this is great, and this one is nice and full. Are you packing or unpacking? Distribution hub, loading facility. Great. So this is hopefully your main export hub for actually getting ships to take all your cargo that you have left over somewhere else. And I would expect there to be a train coming in here at some point in the near future. Sometimes hard to say, but it looks like most of the distribution offices are assigned to this guy. Well, no, there's just a lot of trains. Everyone is assigned to here, and all of these packing facilities seem to be the warehouses. There's no special warehouse allocated for these guys as well, so everything just drops off straight into the packing facilities, and that is good enough. We obviously also have a huge warehouse terminal over here that has everything kind of stored. So much of everything. I am jealous of all that. This looks great. And then, yeah, you can just take this and bring it down to each packing facility and just make sure that they get what they want to get. And then we have another bigger storage over here for construction materials and some meat and some cement and some crops. You know, all the things that you need on a daily adventure of daily adventurers. Lovely, lovely. This is exactly what I would want. I'm surprised to see it this near the water. Especially since it's a distribution hub and not a loading hub, but maybe that makes perfect sense because there's a container ship coming in with containers. What? Where? Oh, okay. This is internal. And then you go unload here for whatever you want. Okay, that makes me feel better. Yes, that... Look at this. There's 700 containers on this thing. I want to know how much you're worth. Tell me. Please tell me. And I like that little tower in the front. Oh, you are gonna be my picture because this looks amazing. This is some serious export happening. I don't know why I find it so exciting. This is exactly what I want to do in my Republic, but I haven't been able to do it yet because I'm struggling so much with money. And I wouldn't be surprised if this one, not double this, but at like 600 million on top of what's going on. That just looks amazing. I want one of those. Gimme. Okay, so moving on. We have a large chemical setup sitting right over here with lovely rail lines running through. And here's something that someone told me may have been seeds, may have been high. High will be the next one. May have been someone else, but trains avoid anything that is a station if they have a way to get around that station. Even if the station has, for example, 4 tracks and the surrounding thing only has 1 track, they will always take the non-station way if there's a way to do that, just in case you're curious. And that seems to be the case from what I've seen. So there's that. But yeah, we got chemical plants producing chemicals with crops and oil coming in and some gravel and, you know, all the stuff that you need. And they just look like they're nice and busy. Now we're getting to the part where it looks a little more similar to what bballjo did. No, not this one. This is probably for chemicals, and this is one of the cities that actually looks exact like, not cookie cutter, but fewer buildings were used, which I think is usually an indication for more time was spent planning this, and you didn't just have to build it like overtime. Like it wasn't an evolution city or a piecemeal city. It was a city that was just like, I want the city to have a long street in the middle. I want footpaths everywhere. I want a metro station sitting right here. and I want a normal bus station right here that doesn't have anyone waiting for anyone. There's another train station sitting over here. Yeah, it just kind of works out. And here, obviously here, this berm or this elevation was put in manually, but look at that. There's a tunnel that goes right through here. It doesn't feel like it's forced. It goes downhill just a tiny bit. There's some bridges that don't look like ramps. There's another bridge that takes care of this. And I don't know that I've seen level crossings anywhere in the Republic when I looked. I'm sure there are a couple, but they're not very common when I look around. And then, yeah, there's just a little plateau up here taking care of the things that need to be taken care of. What's up here? Up here, some water. Okay. What's up here? More water. Okay. And then up here, more water. And a couple units of the residential buildings have no problem actually accessing all of that. And then we have a giant water reserve that is on top of a slight hill, which should make life pretty easy for not needing as much water pressure from pumps. I like it. This city, this should feel a little familiar. It's being built. It's not done yet. Obviously, it was a later addition, but most of the buildings, it's just a high-rise city. Most of them, nice mods, beautiful buildings, large footprint of the city. And guess what? Oh, this looks familiar, doesn't it? What heart? Is that a heart? I think that's a heart. I'll just take that as a heart for me. Because over here, this should look familiar. This may be almost a one-to-one copy. There's a bridge there. There's the roads here. I think these are on the opposite side. But we have the vehicle productions, 8 of them. We have the train productions, 2 of them. We have way too many storages. Obviously, now we know that. I don't know that it was known for that long. And much better road connections to everything that goes in here. But yeah, this is being built. Vehicle productions coming up. I wonder what you're gonna do with this little... I'm trying to find it. This is the camel head. This is the ears. This is the long mouth, the long nose. This is the mouthpiece. Eyes would be up here. This is a camel head. Can you see it? I talked about this before. It's a camel head. Like it's a cartoon camel, but it is a camel. Definitely a camel. Just deal with it, okay? But yeah, we have the vehicle production lines going on over here. I'm assuming there is a little, yeah, there's some heat coming through here. These are pretty close to these buildings, so it's not going to be good for them. Storage, I'm guessing mostly warehouses and everything else gets organized in here for the city, and then a little bit, no, most of the organization for materials will be taken care of right here. So no, this should all be done. And again, no level crossings, and I think that's something I will try next time I play a new map to avoid level crossings. I know it's usually just like, it's fine if I go over the, you know, the most genteel part of a junction where there generally shouldn't be any train sitting there, but the game will still make it so that people stop in places where you're just like, you don't have to stop, the train has stopped, go. Yeah, no, it's not great. Wonderful detail, just a little painted area right in between the roadway. That's lovely. And it's so distracting not to see any traffic anywhere because this is not normal. Much better road structure, obviously, but this is just a nice straight path there. We have a couple roads that let you get around the city. We have the same bus end station sitting over here and the large station. Yeah, this whole thing, most of this, it's not a copy, but it's extremely close to what I've done with Season X, but then there's a tunnel here. I'm not taking this as a middle finger, but it is kind of, bballjo, your idea going through this station with all of your train traffic is stupid. Build a tunnel. This is what I read this as, which, yes, I appreciate. I think it's true. I still like the idea of having cargo trains running through the passenger station over here. It's not as effective, but it's pretty. Yes, traffic can be pretty, okay? But I love this. I love seeing details like that. Again, there's a lot of similarities, but also things that are very different. So I'm hoping I am doing it justice and pointing out all the things that need to be pointed out. We are now here in the middle, in Gorzhin. Gorzhin over here is actually a place that doesn't have any public utilities in the middle of town. And this town is nice and calm and relaxed, and they can just take their rusty little bus over here and get from A to B. They have 2 little stations off, well, wherever they want to go, which is great. There's a station sitting right here, and then there's another station down there. This one, no, this is an end station, buddy. Okay, this is an end station with a repair station associated with it. Interesting location that you send them all the way through here. But these buses take them to work. I played a little game earlier figuring out where people are working because it wasn't fully obvious. I had to actually refer to the lines, but they're actually going down here. Plastics and plastics. Yes, they can produce something. And then a small distribution office over there taking care of all the things. And here are the wagons that I kind of talked about earlier. There's a thing over here to the left, which I want to show you, but I would love to show you at night because I've already seen the Christmas lights on it. And I think it could look pretty cool. I mean, this town looks cool. There's nothing in the background. This is the actual nice town. Do you want to work in the plastics industry? I have no idea about the smell of the plastics industry. But do you want to work in the plastics industry? No problem. That sounds great. We have some metros for you. We have some flickering lights for you. We have all the things that you care about. I'm assuming we just currently have a couple people not where they need to be, but this is what I wanted to show you. The Christmas lights are actually not turning on. Like, there are clearly lights over here. I wonder if they turn on a little bit. Do they only turn on over actual Christmas? Like when there's winter outside? I'm not sure. I see the lines. I just wanted the lines to be more bright, but I'm not seeing what I wanted to see. But there you go. We have that lady sitting there doing their things, and now we have the disco lights going on. Which makes me feel a little better, because I see a lot of things that are going really well in this republic, and knowing that there are some power issues potentially in a couple places makes me feel like I haven't completely screwed up. So thank you for that, Gork. What do we have going on over here? Fuel, yep, and bitumen, yep, and just a large construction setup mostly. There are a couple construction offices here, lots of distribution offices, and then a heating plant, obviously, because Kazinchat sits right here where trains don't cross train tracks, obviously. Well, besides right there. Ha! I found one. No. And then obviously there's another bridge over here that also doesn't feel forced. That one a little bit, but overall, no, it's not a bridge, it's a tunnel. There's a tunnel there that doesn't feel forced. We have this tower, which if you're about this height, you're not really sure what this tower is going to turn into, but then it looks like a TV tower. That may actually be the Berlin one. Yep, Berlin TV tower. Makes sense. And then we got another nice large city with trains being confused about what they're supposed to do because someone is somewhere. It's a large junction, and I'm not surprised that a couple. Oh, there's another one coming in from over here. That's a very large junction that they're trying to figure out there. But yeah, this city is more functional. And that's totally fine. They're also living right next to the ash depots. There's ash coming over here, but also a lot of other things. I wonder if this is still a work in progress, trying to figure out where waste goes, why waste goes somewhere, etc., because there's a lot going on here. So that is lovely. Where shall we go next? I want to go a little bit to the left. To the left. Let's go to this town. Because why not? Towns are the things where you can put a lot of your stamp on, and then the industrial sectors oftentimes look just very clean if you do it right, and very, very messy if you do it normal. So the towns are the things where most people spend a lot of time on. I do understand that industries also take a lot of time for a lot of people, especially if you want to do it right. But I like to look at towns. I just like to look at them. And this one feels like we need workers. Workers, over here is where I need you. Please come to this place because I have a large train station for you. You know what to do. Just do your thing. I even have a heating plant in town for you. There you go. You guys happy? 74%, 81% health. That one feels a little low, but seems like they're doing just fine with what they needed. There's a nuclear power plant over there that was not working up to task earlier, but this looks great. Having this many Iron workers sitting in that mine. Nobody here. Okay. And nobody here. That's fine. And obviously nobody here. It's a little different. There's some more workers available up here that could drive out by car, but apparently some of the iron workers didn't want to come out yet to work in the iron mine because they had their car to go somewhere better, if that's how they feel. We have a couple iron processing plants sitting right here. Nothing major to really say here besides, yep, they're taken care of. They're doing their thing. Looks like we have exports. Is it an export? That's not an export. Iron terminal somewhere. Iron terminal somewhere else. We have ships taking iron places, and then we also have train access for iron, but it's no longer needed, or it's not needed. So they're doing what they need to do. That's all fine. And then we got another little plateau town in the middle of the cornfields, with ocean view and with a little bit of site shipping. Sure, no. Over there, we have the iron processing plants for them to go work. Because look at this road. It says right here. Yeah, we're gonna have iron happening. Looks nice. It's functional. It's nice. It does the things. It has some train access, and it has a little bit of train going around. So there's a train rail going here, connecting two different crops. This is a farm. This is not a farm. What are you? Food factory. Oh, that's an interesting place for a food factory. I didn't expect that, but apparently we have some more people producing food from here, and then it just gets distributed out to wherever it needs to be used. Nothing wrong with that. Got another large farm. Beautiful. Another silo. Cool. Looks like we have, what is this? Bitumen. Synthetic fertilizer production. Okay, that's cool. That's different. I haven't done that in a very long time. And you're all pumping right now. This is water. Where are you guys pumping to? That is sewage. Are you? Oh, no, wait. This is, liquid fertilizer. I read it as bitumen because it was so dark, but no, it's not. It's liquid fertilizer. So cool. They get produced right here, and we have a little bit of bio-waste output that is begging to be something done with. And looks like we have fertilizer out of those already. What are you? Oh, bio-waste goes in here, and then these are the composting plants that turn them into fertilizer. Perfect. That is an excellent setup. And I'm assuming everything is accessed with the single bus stop over here that just has 4 buses driving by it. That's great. That's very efficient. I love it. What are we doing here? Got a couple trams running around. Okay, they look relatively happy. We got a little bit of construction zone over here for actually building a bunch of stuff. We have some power input. We have a little bit of heat. We got rid of all the trees because the trees were in the way. And then this town is just there. This is just a take care of town. This town takes care of you construction-wise. It takes care of you fertilizer-wise. It sends a couple people down to the iron ore processing, which is obviously a nice moneymaker. And then it repairs your ships, because everyone needs ships. And I kind of like this. I kind of like the setup. I'm surprised that this one is not connected to the rail network. But it works, right? Everything does the things that it needs. We have a nice long tunnel to get down there, or you have the footpath crossing. Ooh. I'm not sure that this took a long time, but I like that it worked out this way. People can just, figure out how they're going to get down there, and there's a nice slippery slope in the winter, but for right now in the summer, no problems. Yeah, nice cracked concrete. That's perfect for winter walking. What could possibly go wrong? There's a hospital in here, isn't there? Yes, there is. Okay, I think we are heading. Yeah, we were already here. That's the TV tower there. The view was turned into actual views of the Republic, and we have the Space Needle here. Is that what it's called? There's a rocket monument, and I know this has some significance. I don't remember what it was, and I'm not going to look it up right now, but someone can put a comment down below, because YouTube likes comment engagement. You know what YouTube also likes? Subscriptions. So if you haven't subscribed, why don't you? That's all I'm going to say to that. What do we have here? Electrical components, relatively close to town. But they're producing probably at a pretty good rate. And then we have our warehouses sitting here for one is an in, one is an out, and one is 2 ways, because you shouldn't have to worry about someone stealing stealing steel from here. You just have a train dropping off stuff there, but that seems to be working just fine. And this town is nice and small. I'm not going to call it basic, but nice and small. Has the end station just at the end of town. Has a nice large receptacle for new trains coming in so they can get off the line. I kind of like it. There's also no crossing in front of them, and then a nice little roller coaster getting you down to... Where are you guys going? Let's go look. There's 2 different trains here though, so that'll be interesting. The first one takes a right to the downtown center over there. That's the largest town, largest city on the map, so that's a cool one. Where's this one going? This one goes to the same place. Okay, that's fair. So this one is just an outskirt of that town over there, and they are heavily invested in producing electronic components, which is perfect. Mostly a construction zone over here, from what I can see. Was I over here yet? That is... What is that? What are you guys doing? What is this? It's just a big harbor. Huh. That is a big harbor. What are you guys doing? I don't know. What are you doing? Just stuff. Is this just an export harbor? Go check. Beyond the borders. Beyond the borders. Yes, this is just an internal export harbor. Just sends the ships in. Whoever wants to drop something off here, this is just all for open storages. Probably doesn't matter what they want to load. They can load whatever they feel like. Yep, they just load 100% of anything. Cool. I like it. You have the containers, and you have the open hulls, open storages already exporting all the things that you want to export. I love it. I love it. And that shouldn't cause a lot of congestion out there either. I like it. Yeah, construction over here. That looks good. We have the town sitting over here, and then we have this ginormous central station. I don't know what the capacity is, but it must be a lot, because look at all these trains that like to go in there. And the game is just flickering at me a little bit, but nothing wrong with that. And yeah, it's a nice, long, drawn-out town that has access to trains on multiple different axes, which is quite lovely. So, moving on. The night view wasn't that exciting, so I didn't bother showing you, but all the trains get out here. Looks like we have several end stations sitting there ready to do things, but only some of them have the repair station access, so I'm assuming this one, yeah, this one doesn't have any vehicles assigned to it, and this one does. We got the bridges over here in the back, just to get over this little hump. Lovely. Like it. Oh, there's a little sewage inlay sitting right here taking care of, you know, business and such. That's nice. Got a train refueling station sitting there, and then power coming in here. And this area I'm definitely a little jealous of. A, it's fenced in. Cool. B, it is 4 steel mills that are running at good enough capacity. Okay, we don't have iron right now, but that's just because the ship hasn't arrived yet. But it's kind of taken care of. And they're producing, they seem to be producing more than enough. And money is actually going up, not going down, like, you know, another playthrough that I know. And we still... Stahl? Interesting. German? Stahl? Okay. Rock, I didn't... Staphol? Staphol? Huh. I don't know. Stahl is steel in German. I think it's... That may be spelled the right way. But Gronk, I didn't think that you were German. But, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Nothing wrong with being German. Or anything else. Stop talking. No, we're good. But we got the metro coming in here, getting all their things done. And then where do you... Not the metro. This is just a normal train. Where do you go afterwards? You find an end station to turn around. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's a lot of space-saving activity going on there. And these guys are just filling up whatever they need. And you have probably workers coming in from this side, but you also have workers coming in from this side. And, well, more construction over here. Then the grain vault. Yes. Not turned on yet. I know the feeling, but it's ready. It has the extra long train distribution office mod that makes sure that your trains can be 266 meters long instead of just 156. That's a whole extra 110 meter. And it's worth it. It's nice to have the longer trains running around, that's for sure. But it's not full yet, but it's going to happen, and this looks lovely. More construction over here. Okay, we got some food factory. More food? You're producing a lot of food in your republic. Why? That seems like you don't need that much. Probably is working for you, which is great, but there you go. A couple more distribution offices here for hazardous waste, of course, and then you are grain. Okay, yeah, of course. That's grain from right there. And the hazardous stuff all goes out here. And I kind of like this little setup. It's really far away. It has two large incinerators. This one is supposed to do just hazardous waste. This one is supposed to do the rest. From experience, I do know that this one, the general separation, will get overloaded relatively quickly if this is your only setup where you actually bring in the mixed waste. But you're probably fine. I mean, at this point, if it hasn't broken at this point, it won't break any other point. But everything kind of goes in there. We have some aggregate storages for the things that come through here, and I'm assuming construction waste goes to the gravels processing plant very early at the beginning. Who are you? You are construction waste. Perfect. So you're picking it up from here. And then we have actual waste being exported right here. And they're loading and they're unloading at the border, and I think this one does the same thing. So they're taking care of business too whenever appropriate. We have a little bit of ash sitting right here that can be picked up by train. And then we have some plastic waste that could be picked up from there whenever appropriate. But yeah, we just don't have enough sitting there yet. Then, yeah, helicopter. Having a helicopter fire station sitting here is surprising because you're already bringing workers in, but nothing wrong with that as usual. Another farm. Got some harvesting going on, and then this distribution office didn't quite make it. Sorry about that, but you will have to be thought of later. Oh, this is why the grain vault is here, because you're planning on probably a ton of fields in this general area. Very cool. I like it. Thank you, Gronk. Grok, not Gronk. Gork. Thank you, Gork, for sending me your lovely republic. I've seen some inspiration that I may want to use in the current season or the next season. Obviously, lovely job done taking your space and actually making things out of it. That's great. If you guys are watching and thinking, how do I get to show you my republic? Just go to the link in the description. There's a Discord link. If you go there, that's the Discord FAQs for safe game submissions. Tells you everything you need to know. You just send it to me. I'll check it out, and if I can cover it, I will. Every once in a while, it'll take 6 or 9 months before I can get to reviews. But I promise I generally try to do more than that. Maybe once a month. Maybe once a month we can do this a thing. Make this a thing, but maybe I'll become more selective of the things that I will actually want to show. So we'll just have to see. Anyways, that's all I have. My mouse is going somewhere where I didn't want it. What should be our outro? Where's that ginormous ship that we had before? It's probably already gone. It's like 2 days later. It would have made it. Yeah, it's already coming back. How much money did you make me? About 300,000. 300 million. All right, that's nice. Cool. Thank you so much for watching. Very much appreciated. I will hopefully see you again next time. And the next one up is High for a St. Bernard review. Thank you so much for playing. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.